Namaskar and a very pleasant good afternoon to all of you. A warm greetings to you from DELNET Developing Library Network. I, Sangeeta Kaul, on behalf of DELNET, extends a very hearty welcome to each one of you for joining us today at the DELNET's program, which is marked to celebrate the National Technology Day. And I, at the very outset, would like to welcome our distinguished speaker of today's afternoon, Ms. Sanjana Rathi, who is a CEO and founding partner of the CyberDiplomat LLC. It's a profound privilege for me to welcome you, Sanjana, today, and it's a profound privilege for us. Thank you very much for joining us today and for acceding to our request to be there with us. So thank you very much, and we extend a very hearty welcome to you, Sanjana, and to be there with us today. Thank you very much indeed. I also take this pleasure to welcome all our distinguished library and information science professionals who have joined us from different nooks and parts of the country and even outside India. We welcome you to today's program. I also extend a welcome to all the HODs and also the faculty members of our member institutions and many more other institutions. Profound privilege for me also to welcome our students from the various departments of library and information science. And also today we are having with us a large number of students community from our member institutions, especially from the departments of computer science and engineering and also from IT. We extend a very hearty welcome to you. And once again, on behalf of DELNET, we would like to wish you all a very, very happy National Technology Day. And today, in order to celebrate this National Technology Day, DELNET has organized a session which will shortly be delivered by Ms. Sanjana Rathi, and she is going to speak on cybersecurity, usability, and privacy issues and concerns. I have profound privilege in welcoming once again Ms. Sanjana Rathi, and I would like to introduce you to her. Ms. Sanjana Rathi is the CEO and founding partner of the CyberDiplomat LLC, a cyber venture based in India and USA. She is a Tata Scholar holding master's degree in security and diplomacy from Tel Aviv University, an MSc in management and of information systems and digital innovation from the London School of Economics and Political Science. In the past, Sanjana has worked with the International Criminal Police Organizations, Israeli Defense Think Tank, private public sector enterprises such as Deloitte UK and PwC UK and the various academia. Having worked in all domains of cyber, she is passionate and committed to the field. Sanjana also holds the position of Vice President at Technology Against Crime Initiative in Africa. She is also a software engineer and on the board of an NGO committed to technology for social good. It's such a profound privilege for us to have such a young, enterprising professional who is there with us today, and we happen to be knowing her, so well, and she has immensely been contributing on the cybersecurity arenas, and it's a profound privilege for each one of us to have you with us, Sanjana, today. And I extend once again a welcome to you. And I now request you to kindly start the session of today. It's over to you, Sanjana.
First of all, I would like to thank Sangeeta ma'am for this great platform to interact with many people on a very important issue, which is cybersecurity, usability, and privacy. I would like to thank DELNET and everyone for joining this session. It's an honor to be a part of the National Technology Day celebration. So I'll just get started. So when we talk about cybersecurity, the first thing that comes into our mind is actually network security. A lot of technical aspects come into our mind. We think about network security, we think about ethical hacking. When cybersecurity essentially is looked at as a very technical field with least social or psychological or even economic aspects. We don't take into consideration those perspectives usually. However, in this session, I will be talking more, especially on the other aspects of cybersecurity, which is more related to the psychological aspects, which is more on a social aspect and ethical aspect of cybersecurity. Today, when we use technology, we want technology to be most usable. That's one very important aspect that we look when we use technology. It needs to be having those functional features that can actually help us. In fact, the initial concept of technology actually came into place because technology was like a tool, or is like a tool that will help us, bridge that particular gap in society. And technology is like a tool that would actually help solve a problem in our life. That's the essential. That's the essence of why technology is used today. For example, communication, if you want to talk at a far distance, we use technology. So it makes life more easy. It makes, that's the entire concept behind technology and innovation. So we will be talking more on the aspects of cyber today, rather than just the technological aspect, which is what is today seen. However, cyber is something which goes hand in hand with technology. We'll see that today in this presentation. I'll also be touching upon aspects of privacy. Privacy is one concept which, according to me, it's more of a legal concept. Today, when we talk about privacy, we generally talk about information security or your data being secure. That's what privacy is. It's more of a legal aspect. It's more of a social aspect. However, in order to maintain privacy, we need to have good encryption. We need to have great technology. We need to have security by design when we are designing our applications. So these are aspects which is very essential to maintaining privacy. So privacy and again, information security and our design aspect is very important to maintaining this privacy. So when essentially when we talk about cyber, so what we generally think about computers, we think about technology, but cyber is actually associated with the darker aspect of technology. We'll be coming to that. So when we think about cyber, we think about cyber attack. So what is a cyber attack? It is an offensive way of targeting information systems, computer network, infrastructure, personal computer devices. When we talk about cyber, we talk about cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is the application of technology process controls to protect system, network, programs, devices, and also data from cyber attack. Its main aim is to actually reduce risk to any kind of cyber attack and protect the systems from any kind of an unauthorized exploitation. When we talk about cyber, we talk about cyber forensics. Now, what is cyber forensics? It's something which happens after a cyber crime usually occurs. It's a process of gathering and documenting proof from a computer or a computing device in the form of presentable to the court by applying techniques of investigation and analysis. So that's what is cyber forensics. Then we have aspect which is an upcoming area. This is called cyber diplomacy. Today, cyber diplomacy is really important because we are living in a very interconnected world. We are living in an international, global landscape, and cyber has no boundaries. So what is cyber diplomacy? It is broadly defined as the use of diplomatic tools or initiatives to achieve the state's national interest in cyberspace. And that's why a strategy at a very strategic level, cyber diplomacy is what works. Then when we talk about cyber, we talk about cyber crime, which is actually criminal activities, which is out of computer or internet. Then there is another upcoming area, which is cyber psychology, which is actually the study of human mind and behavior, and how the culture of technology specifically virtual reality and social media affects them. So this is again a very upcoming area because today we notice that a lot of technology that we are using is having an impact on our psychology. It is having an impact on our behavior. So what is the counter mechanism to mitigate the kind of impact that it is having on us? If we don't have an understanding of cyber psychology, it is very difficult for us to even bring in countermeasures so as to counter this particular effect. So cyber psychology is, again, I'm emphasizing cyber psychology because this is a very upcoming area. This is an area which, because nowadays we use Instagram, we use social media, we are seeing that this is somewhat affecting our social relationships. It's affecting the way we perceive the world as a whole. And our perception is defined by what we see on the internet and social media. And this is what is the study of cyber psychology. There is a lot of mental health issues that are coming up today. This is again a consequence of the use of technology. So how do we deal with it? This is an area of cyber psychology. So now, just broadly defining what cyber is. So cyber is, according to me, it's the other side of technology. So since, as I mentioned earlier, that technology was used for the well-being of people, we generally decided to make a new technology because we felt that there was a necessity for us to make our lives better. However, when the same technology started being used for some malicious activities or for something which was having a harmful effect or a harmful side effect for that matter, that's when we started looking into aspects of cyber, and then we started coming up with cybersecurity, cyber psychology, cyber diplomacy. We felt that there was a gap, there was something wrong, and we need to fix it. So that's what cyber is. So this picture, it gives, this is one whole picture that actually describes what cyber is on different levels. So today we are having more cyber dependent system and cyber enabled crime. So cyber dependent crime is what we call the use of machine in order to um, in order to um, in order to use this machine for criminal purposes. So that's when this is what is cyber dependent crime. That's when we come up with the concept of hacking, data espionage, then the misuse of devices, ransomware, going against nation state, cyber warfare, political interferences. So these are aspects which is more cyber dependent. Then there is the crime using the machine, for example, intellectual property theft. This is again using this is more cyber dependent, like copyright and trademark offenses. Then piracy related aspects. There's also phishing, spamming, identity theft. This is all cyber dependent. And other aspects which is more cyber enabled is cyberbullying. For example, even there is a lot of pornographical material which is the consequence. Again, it is highlighting the consequence. There is illegal gambling, illegal gaming, laundering. Then there is even terrorism, radicalization that is happening online. This is all cyber enabled crime. And so this entire box, it gives the aspect. And cyber security is something which is more technical, and cyber safety is something where we understand how we use the systems for our benefit. So in today's session, I will be talking about the cybersecurity aspects, which is a more technical, but using the psychological aspects and social aspects as well. So now, getting in terms with cyber. So when we talk about cybersecurity, there is another very important concept that comes up, which is actually information security. And sometimes we notice people, they think information security is what is cybersecurity, but that is not that actually. Cybersecurity is a part of information security. Information security is something which, it includes a lot of other aspects. For example, it includes encryption, it includes risk management, it includes risk assessment, it includes forensics. It also includes methodologies, it includes risk mitigation techniques. So a lot of other aspects that go into information security, which is not cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is more of, again, a technical aspect. And information security is a broader aspect. However, for this session, we will not talk much about the difference, because I have kept it in a way that we not confuse too much, because everything is very interconnected. Again, you cannot keep things in isolation. So just asking a basic question today. Today, a lot of schools and a lot of colleges are giving a lot of emphasis on ethical hacking. I think this has become it's an upcoming field, and everyone wants to become an ethical hacker. So what is ethical hacking? This is something which we need to actually ponder upon, because is hacking really ethical? And okay, you're doing it. We will be coming into this white hat, black hat. But this is something to actually ponder over, of what is ethical, because this is something which is more social. It is more socially focused. We need to understand society. We need to understand people. We need to understand interactions. We need to understand other aspects apart from technology, in order to actually understand ethics, and in order to develop the concept of ethical hacking, and to teach that in schools and colleges. So ethical hacking, although it's an upcoming field, today a lot of emphasis is given on offense. However, I completely believe that we need to understand integrity, what integrity means. We need to understand what trust really means, in order to build a society which is actually ethical, and propagate ethical hacking. So coming to the concept of who is a hacker. Now, a person who uses computer to gain unauthorized access. Actually, a person who is skilled to use computer applications in order to obtain access to a private computer system. That's what is hacking all about. And this is who is a hacker. So now a hacker can wear many hats. He can wear, for example, a black hat. Now, who is a black hat hacker? Black hat hacker is a person who uses unauthorized access for illegal purposes. So what really actually defines hacking is the intention of the hacker. So if it is for a malicious intent, it is generally considered black hat hacking. Or it can also be gray hat, but we will, that's something which is, it is looking into various other things. But essentially, a black hat hacker is a person who uses the system for malicious or illegal, for in an illegal way, in order to control the system. Then a white hat hacker hat hacker is a person who is generally a legal investigator. So usually we have white hat hackers employed in government organizations and private entities in order to defend the system. They actually work on defense, more on cyber defense aspects. They have an intent of keeping technology ethical and and upholding the ethical aspects of technology, and also maintaining the technology for social good, and propagating that. That's how a white hat hacker thinks, and that's what is the intention of a white hat hacker. However, we have a gray hat hacker. Now, gray hat hacker is somebody who uses it for illegal or legal access. There is no particular defined way, and usually we find people, they are generally gray hat hackers. These are people who do not have any defined principles, and that's why it's really important for us to check into these aspects, because today when we are talking about technology and when we give knowledge on ethical hacking, we talk about the technical aspects of hacking into a computer, of checking what vulnerabilities are there, or what are the vulnerabilities, and but is that person really ethical? Is he having a very strong principle? Is he or she having a strong principle? Is that person having good ethics, upholding the ethics, having a strong connection with the community, with the people? It's really important to ensure that a person is having the right mindset, so that the principles are clearly defined, and that person sticks to the principle. So gray hat hacker is somebody who does not have a principle, so they can get into illegal or legal hacking. So now let us come to a story. Now this particular story will essentially, you will understand about how a hacker thinks, what are the human qualities that a hacker can exploit in order to get into a system, or to basically, and what we are talking over here is about black hat hacking. So we will be concentrating on the black hat hacking. So the story is that there is a person, his name is Nikhil, and now the black hat hacker, he basically wants all the information about Nikhil, and he wants to hack into his computer, get all the information. And Nikhil happens to be somebody from an organization or working in a company. So now, how will a hacker really? Now, this is this is a black hat hacker. So he will think about ways in which he can get into Nikhil's system, and he will think about ways in order to gather information. It can be also getting physical access to his house. That can also be a possibility. It can also be that this hacker is going to, so he'll think about multiple ways. Now, what he can think about, let's get into this. So now he is going to think about, okay, what is it that he's going to do? There is one aspect which is called brute force attack. Now, what is a brute force attack? It is in cryptography. Usually, brute force attack consists of attackers submitting the password. So it is basically guessing the password of Nikhil and getting into the system. That will be one aspect. Then the other terminology that we can think of is distributed denial of service attack, which is actually a malicious attempt to disrupt the normal traffic of a system. So he's going to use several servers, and he's going to disrupt the normal traffic. However, he cannot get information using this. He can just disrupt the services through this particular technique. So what are the other ways in which he can get information? There is denial of service attack. So denial of service attack, which means that literally to flood traffic into his, to flood the entire basically traffic so that no one can send information and the entire system crashes and he cannot access. So this is one of the ways. There is also, and the best possible way today, what hackers use is actually social engineering attacks. And social engineering attacks are very easy to do. So today we see that social engineering attack is mainly what is happening in especially India, where people are using various ways in order to get your information through phone calls and through even emails, messages, WhatsApp. So social engineering is actually, it is in Hindi, it is actually called uh, getting to know Janmat. Today we hear this in politics, ki Janmat kya hai? That is what is actually social engineering. It is to know what is happening in a person's mind, what is going on, what are the practical application of sociological principles or to particular social problems. That is what is social engineering. So what are the different social engineering practices today that are used? So I'm sure most of you would have seen Jamtara, which is a very popular program. And this is about cyber criminals that use a simple phone call. They are, by the way, based in a small town in Jharkhand called Jamtara district, in the Jamtara district. And they give phone calls to people and just take their ATM pin. They pretend like as if they are from the bank or some important sector, and they use a psychological backdoor. And the psychological backdoor that they use, in technical terms, it's actually called having respect for authority. So they feel that if they talk like a person of authority, then they will be able to get access to the system. And so a lot of psychological techniques are used by hackers in order to get the information. The other aspects are actually getting access to social media account. There is also sending phishing emails, building a phishing website. Today, we see that there are a lot of websites that can be easily cloned. For example, LinkedIn can easily be cloned. Facebook can be easily cloned, and these are usually done in servers. For example, there's the NORC server, that is NGROK .io. That's usually what a hacker uses if you ever get an email with that extension, please ignore it. That's a phishing email. Or if you ever get a link with that particular name, again ignore it. Usually any suspicious link, any embedded link, do not click on any link very easily. Verify before you click. This is one of the first cyber hygiene practices that needs to be taken into consideration if you want to prevent yourself from any kind of cyber attack or phishing attack. So the other aspect, which is basically sending smishing calls saying that we want your ATM pin or we want your important details. Please do not give these details. No bank will ask you to give these details over a phone call. Always tell the person to either send you an email or if it is really important, then and if your bank is nearby, then just visit the bank and ask, or you can call someone from the bank who is the relationship manager and ask them if there is anything required, or even visit the bank website, because usually any important updates are usually made in the bank website. So these are various techniques, again, for you to be very careful before clicking any link. The other aspect, so usually what happens today is that we see a lot of phishing emails. we see that there is a lot of phishing emails that are being sent in organizations. The systems are getting compromised, and usually this is done, very easily by the hacker. So how does the hacker do? So he makes a fake LinkedIn page. Usually, he makes a fake LinkedIn page. As I mentioned, it's very easy to clone a LinkedIn page or to clone a Facebook page. It's not everything is there on GitHub. There is code on GitHub. They just clone it and they send it to the person. So this is the email that you will get. So actually, if you see this email, it looks like as if it has come from LinkedIn, but it has not come from LinkedIn. It has come from another, another site over here, as you can see. Although it's in your subject, it will seem absolutely valid. It will seem like a professional email sent by LinkedIn. But always check whether if they are asking you to actually click something. If it is just an email with information, it's fine. You can just take a look at it and you can close it. But if they ask you for a response, for example, by clicking on a link, or if they ask you for a response by asking you to send some money or to scan the code or anything, do not do that. Do not get into any kind of transactions using email. Verify the email first. So what do you do to verify? First, check who is sending it. Check the reply to box. Usually the reply to box, sometimes it targets to a different reply to altogether. Check the reply to. You can use the three dot which is there on the side of your email box. There is a three dot which is there. Go in the three dot, you will get an option called original email. Go to the original email, and then after that you check what the message ID is. So it should come from Google or some valid server. If it comes from an invalid server, again, that is a phishing email. So you need to do all these checks before you get into any kind of transaction or if you interact with these emails, before you interact with these emails. So now, usually what happens, what statistics say is that around 60% of organization are victims of phishing attacks. So, which means that if Nikhil does not have knowledge about cybersecurity and cyber hygiene, he will click this particular link. So now just coming to a broader definition that you must be knowing for cyber. You don't have to be a cybersecurity professional, but you need to be knowing these important words, which is phishing. Phishing is a type of social engineering attack, which is usually done to steal your user data, and including login credentials and credit card numbers, etc. There are different type of phishing attacks. So there is, for example, smishing attack. Smishing attack is so you will be seeing all these words in newspaper also. For example, you might see in the headline that smishing attack and somebody's lost so much money. And smishing attack is actually through text message that these links are sent. Then there is this spear phishing attack. Spear phishing attack is when you target a specific person. For example, sometime long ago, the CEO of Facebook was a victim of spear phishing attack. So you can imagine that phishing is something which, if you're not cautious, you can get caught. So, and then there is a wishing attack, which is there. Then there is the whaling attack. So wishing attack is actually voice over IP, over phone. If you get a phone call, that's what is wishing. Then there is whaling attack. Whaling is a CEO or an executive member. That's whaling. Then there is cloning a website. Usually whaling happens because hackers, they know that important people do not have time to do an email security check, or to check on the details that are given, and they exploit this particular aspect in order to gain access to the person's system. So usually that is, so however important the position, it doesn't really matter. We need to do our email checks. We need to keep ourselves secure by being very vigilant while using technology. Then there is something which is called as clone phishing. Clone phishing is basically cloning a website. And then there is something called as credential harvesting. So this is a technique which is actually used by the hacker in order to get the credentials and information that is required for a cyber attack. So now using this technique, easily the hacker can get the user ID and password in the terminal of his computer. Just by having, because the server that he is using is actually the server that it's a server that is his, that is the hacker's server. So he is, and Nikhil is getting caught, unfortunately, in this particular incident, and he's giving all the information, his user ID and password through this attack. So never click on any suspicious link. Now, how does the hacker think? Now, if he is a very qualified hacker, he will use technical aspects for getting more information. Today, there is a lot of information. If you need a lot of information, you use a more capable or a more advanced level of hacking, which is today, it's called as malware attack, and we see that today very often. We hear of ransomware attacks. We hear of malware being installed in somebody's computer. We hear of spywares and worms. So these are all information gathering techniques that a hacker uses. Malware is just one of them. So what is a malware? It's actually just a software. So, and that's why today it's very easily found, because there are so many people who are software engineers having the technical capability. Malware is something which is sometimes easily found. There is a whole different sector today that is developing, which is the cybercrime sector. And it's very unfortunate that this is a growing sector. So so again, as educators, as people from the academia, as somebody who wants a good society, we need to really check on the principles. We need to really check on the ethics. That I really emphasize, because today technology, how much ever good technology you can make or software you can make, what really will lead to a good society is the principles, ethics, our understanding of society, our understanding of human beings. I emphasize this again. So now malware is the host. It's usually hosted on the computer. And if a hacker wants to gain access to all the information, he will host the malware on the root server. Because in the root server, they can easily override DNS. Usually DNS overriding is an important technique, again used by hackers in order to get more information. These are certain technical terms which is important for you to know, because this is something very practical, and it should become a common knowledge. So what are the types of malwares? These are the various types of malwares. There is malvertising. It looks like an advertising, but which has an embedded malware in it. There is steganographed images that have malware code in it. Then there are spyware applications that are there. There is ransomware. There is botnet. All these things, these are different software, there are different techniques that a hacker actually uses for getting more information. So now what he can do is basically he can override, he can poison the DNS through malware attack. And farming, these two, again, very important definition. DNS poisoning, it's known as a way of poisoning the domain name server, which is there on the root of your computer. And then there is farming. Farming is an online scam which is similar to phishing, where a website traffic is manipulated and confidential information is stolen. So how do you protect yourself? So protecting yourself, supposing you get basically an email from HDFC Bank, supposing. And if you find that this is probably, even if it uses the right words and all, if it asks you to click, don't click. Instead, what you can do is you can just open another tab on your web browser, and you can just type HDFC Bank, the official site. Go to the official site, log into your account, and then access the account, see if there is any thing that has happened, check if there is any, everything is fine. But do not click on the link if you find that it's sent over an email. Usually nowadays, banking sector is keeping this in mind. They are not sending emails or anything. They are just sending text over email saying that please access your system and do this particular thing. They don't ask you to interact with that email. So usually this is one thing that you need to keep in mind. The second thing is check the originality that I had mentioned before. Check the originality, check who has sent the email, whether it's a valid email or not. Check for who is the reply to pointing to. So check all these things. Email check is very important. It's very important to develop a security culture. Importance of password. Keep a very secure password. Now it's very important. I know it is really difficult to remember password at times, and it's very important for us to, although it's important for us to keep a secure password, sometimes we don't know which password is more secure or not. The technique that you can use is basically using various type of symbols. For example, @ symbol you can use for A, or in the various characters you can keep. What you can also do is that, that particular day when you're setting the password, what is going on in your mind? Just note it down, or, just check whether that can be, the right word. There are various techniques that you can use for securing your system, the secure password that you can use, a different word maybe that you cannot even think of. You can just keep that as a password. So, but do not use your name and just numbers or your date of birth in your password. These are the don'ts usually for a secure password. Instead, do other things, play with words. These are various techniques that you can use. Then some of the common technique for generally domain impersonification. This is a difference. Just take a bit of time to analyze what's the difference between the two email IDs. So if you actually notice that the second one does not have the word R, property. It has the word property. So again, when the email is being sent to you, check who is sending the email and whether the spelling is right. This is very important, especially for long domain names. Another thing is playing with fonts. So hackers usually play with the fonts. Generally be careful with that. For example, over here it is Singapore Airlines and not Singapore, Q and G. So it's replaced. Or Instagram or Instagram. So be very careful when you check these emails. Then there is Amazon.com, Amazon.co. So supposing you find that there is a word, but it's not .com. Generally do a domain check. Check who the domain belongs to. You can go to the website whois.com and you can do the domain check. Or you can, if you are a technically savvy person, you can use your terminal and type whois and the domain name, and you get all the domain name information. So response today, our legal system and our system is made in a way that actually our cybersecurity is in our own hands. It's not in the hands of anybody else. So we need to at least maintain basic cyber hygiene by keeping in mind these, cyber security, cyber hygiene principles. So now let me come to a more important aspect of cyber. So these are certain questions that I will impose over here for everyone to start thinking about this. So when it comes to cybersecurity, people think ethical hacking. How many of us think that cybersecurity is a mechanism to secure our systems so that a just society is maintained and human interests are upheld? So do we have knowledge about human beings, human psychology, human emotions, empathy, compassion? Do we have all these things that do we keep in mind all these things when we think about cybersecurity? Or is it that we think of cybersecurity as a very cool subject and ethical hacking as something which is very, you're seen as a hero? That's not what cybersecurity is. It's about creating a society which is a good society, a society where everyone can live in harmony. And that's why it's really important for us to start thinking of what really ethics really mean. This is a very important question. What are ethics? How does ethics to hacking adding ethics to hacking make it ethical or not? So we need to think in terms of that. Adding ethics to hacking honestly does not make it ethical. It's the principles that make it ethical. So how many of us stick to our principles? How many of us really stick to it? How many of us are interacting with society? How many of us are conscious of what the society should be like? Are we treating or are we training our students in a way to think in that way, to think for the people? So these are certain questions that we need to think of while designing a cybersecurity curriculum for our schools and colleges. And it's very important to make the foundation very strong so that we can build upon, a society where technology is really used for the well-being of people. So now this is just a question to ponder over. So now supposing there is an app, and today we hear this word of disruption in society. We hear this word, it's called disruption. Uh, uh, in Silicon Valley, it's very common. In Bangalore, everyone is using the word disruption. And in fact, investors pour more money on an app which is more disruptive. So let me just pose this question. An app with an idea of beating bureaucracy get billion-dollar funding. This has happened practically. That an app has got a billion-dollar funding. However, what is the role of bureaucracy in society? What is the actual role of bureaucracy in society? Whether bureaucracy was essentially made for the well-being, or was it made? What was it made for? We need to have that understanding before we can actually develop an app to beat bureaucracy. We cannot assume that bureaucrats or bureaucracy is not good before making an app. We need to understand the system. Why was it put in the first place? And then after that, think of ways in which we can actually uh, create a better society. That's the way to go about it, not beating bureaucracy. So, how can technology ensure transparency and uphold ethics? That's the question that we need to ask. Today, bureaucracy is looked at as a maligned word because it's not transparent. Maybe technology can be used for that. It can be used to ensure transparency so that we function as a good society, as a society where everyone thrives and the society lives in harmony. So this is what is the essential question that we need to ask. At CyberDiplomat, we have developed curriculum which is focusing on various aspects of technology and how we need to uphold cybersecurity for various technologies. It is not defined to any one particular domain. It is for multiple domains. For example, we have curriculum on cybersecurity for telecommunication. We have cybersecurity, cyber diplomacy, cyber psychology related curriculum. We have cyber accounting related curriculum for accountants and management students. We are doing a lot of work with the colleges and schools in India. We are basically a startup company that is working on this particular goal. Our main mission and vision of CyberDiplomat is to propagate ethical use of technology and to counter the effects of cyber. So it is also to bridge this particular gap that is there in society that is actually creating a problem. Gap in the sense there is a lot of policy gaps. There are a lot of gray areas that are there in cyber. So we are a very research oriented organization. We do research so that ultimately the decision and the intelligence that we come out will help us make better decisions for this society, so that we can make a better society and a better community as a whole. That's our entire vision and mission. We have the Cybersecurity Center for Excellence, which is used to build capacity such that technology is being used for social well-being. We have faculty development programs, and we have done this before in multiple schools and colleges across India. We also have curriculum that is developed for all streams. That is, we take a human-centric approach to technology education. We will be coming up with multiple curriculums in the coming week. In fact, there is in the Telecommunication Day, we have a workshop which is on cybersecurity for telecommunication students. Likewise, we will be rolling out all our courses. These are all research work that is done by my colleagues and I. We have done this research work, and we have, collected this particular. We have made this curriculum so that ultimately we together we make this culture for cybersecurity. We propagate this in schools and colleges across India. That's our entire mission and vision. You can visit our website. You can also look at us in various social media platforms. Is there any questions or anything that you have in mind? Please do let me know after this presentation. Anything? Also, I would like to request Sangeeta ma'am if she can just roll out the poll for the audience.
Thank you very much, Sanjana. Thank you for a wonderful presentation, providing insights on cybersecurity and also on privacy and not many other issues concerning to each one of us. So now we would like to go for, as being requested by our speaker, we are now one after the, there are 6 poll questions and which are getting flashed now one by one. We are requesting all our attendees to kindly actively give their inputs about it. And the first poll question is getting launched now on your screen, which says, how familiar are you with the cyber ethics or cyber policy for governance of your library resources? Please select 1. Good knowledge about the subject, average, a fair bit idea of information in cybersecurity, or you think that you need to learn a bit more about it. So requesting each one of you, 13% of you have voted as of now, requesting each one of you to come forward and to give us some inputs about it, that how familiar are you with the cyber ethics or cyber policy for governance of your library resources, or for that matter, for any kind of a resource that you are concerned with. So please do kindly give us your candid feedback. We can see that 31% of you have voted. Please help us in crossing 50% of the voting so that we get a fair idea of what each one of you really feels. And so please do kindly give us your feedback as quickly as you can, because after this we still have yet another 5 questions to go before we make the floor open for further questions from the floor. So this is 40% of you have voted. Please come forward. We fairly have a very large number of audience today with us on this platform. So we request you, please do kindly, you need to go for a good knowledge and average knowledge you feel you have, or a fair bit of information, or you feel that you need to really learn a little bit more on the subject of cyber ethics or for cyber policy, and especially when we think about for managing our library resources, institutional resources that we may be wanting to safeguard. So how fairly do you find yourself? 47% of you have voted, requesting remaining also 3 more percent of our attendees to come forward and giving their inputs. 48%, we are inching towards this, at least a 50% of our attendees to have voted for this. And as I could see that, yes, it is now inching towards a 50%, taking a bit longer. Some of you, yes, thank you very much. So let me now tell it to our speaker, Sanjana, that I would just go from the highest to the lowest. So 41%, it's very heartening to know 41% of you have opted for the option, the first option, that is you fairly possess a good knowledge on the subject, followed by 25%, which says that no, you think that you need to learn a bit more on the subject. And the third highest is for 18%, saying fairly a bit of information on cybersecurity you do possess, and 16% have felt that you do have an average knowledge of it. So the percentage goes like the 40% a good knowledge, 25% of you feels like learning more, 18% a fair bit of information, and 17%, now it has come to 17% average knowledge. The second question that we are now getting it flashed on the screen is, do you use any software to check plagiarism? Which is a little question not directly concerning this, but still, and we would just like to find it out from each one of you. Do you use any software for plagiarism detection at your places? For academic integrity, definitely this is, and let me, since this question is being flashed on the screen, let me also tell you, the DELNET is in the discussions right now to introduce some new anti-plagiarism software, that is a plagiarism detection software, a web tool. They're in dialogue with some of the startup who are doing a good work in this, and we do hope that in next few weeks time we will be having a webinar session on this plagiarism detection, wherein we would be like to introduce you all to that new tool, which has recently been developed by some of a startup company. We could see that, thank you very much. 50%, we are inching towards 50%. It is, yes, it is 50%. So 59% of you are using the plagiarism detection software, which is really, it's now, yes, it is 60 to 40%. So 60% of you are using plagiarism detection software. So this is for you, Sanjana, to keep a note of that. And 40% of you are not using anything. Now the third one is, what do you do in case of a cyber attack on your personal institutional gadget? You contact an expert, you file an FIR with the police, or approach the cyber cell. I figure out the solution myself, or ignore and move on. So what do you really do? And this is being asked by our speaker. She would like to assess what each one of you does once you are you encounter a situation which is not a very desirable situation, that you are into a cyber attack, whether we talk about on a personal gadget or an institutional gadget. What do you really do? You contact an expert, you file an FIR with the police, or approach the cyber cell, or you figure out the solution yourself, that what needs to be done, or you just ignore it and you say that, let me just be more careful the next time. So please kindly, 43% of you have voted as of now, requesting you to please help us in crossing at least a 50% of the voting should be there in this. So requesting each one of you to come forward, and it is now, we are at 49%. Please help us, and yes, it is now 50%. And let me now convey to Sanjana that we have the majority, 46. There's a tie. There is a tie. Yes, there is a tie between the first and the second option. 46% for the first option, that is you contact an expert, and 46% of the attendees have gone for option number 2, which is really good to see, that you file an FIR with the police and approach also the cyber cells. So the 46 and 46% a tie for the first and the second. The third option had garnered 7% of the voting. 7% of you are of the opinion that you figure out the solution yourself, and 2%, yes, of the attendees have felt, they just ignore that and you just move on. So this is for you, Sanjana, to keep a note. The first two have 46%, the third option for 7%, and the third one is 2%. Now we would like to go for yet another questions, and the question herein comes: who handles IT security at your place? Who handles IT security at your place? You have a dedicated library dedicated IT department. Your IT is a part of a large organization. You use a third-party consultant. Non-IT library staff you have, or you're not sure about it, that how you are taking care of your IT security. Please help us in getting the right kind of feedback from each one of you, that who handles your IT security, who handles the security aspects at your workplace, in your institution. Do you have a very dedicated IT department, a library dedicated department, or you have an IT department, a separate IT department as a part of your organization who takes care of this, or you have a third-party consultant, some other organization, IT company who takes care of your IT security of your institution, or you have a non-IT library staff who just manages, the security aspects, or you are not really sure that how, these aspects are being taken care of. 46% of you have voted, requesting you please come forward so that we can get some more, and we can see that now 50% of you have voted. And now this is to inform you all that 39% of you, it's good to know, 39% of you do have a separate IT department who takes care of the IT security. 34% of you does have a library dedicated IT department, which is really, really good to notice. 12% of you use a third-party consultants for taking care of the IT security. 8% have gone for non-IT library staff that you have who are managing, and 7% of you are not really sure about it. I think after today's presentation, you would definitely like to look into those aspects, that how you can handle the IT security well. Now here comes the question: do you have a cybersecurity ethical framework and cybersecurity induction program designed for your organization? Do you have a cybersecurity ethical framework and cybersecurity induction program designed for your organization? So we request you, please kindly let us know whether you have already designed, such kind of a program for your organization, which takes care of in cybersecurity ethics and also the cybersecurity induction. So do you have any policies in place at your institution? And we just request you, if you may just kindly let us know about it, whether have you come out with any such policies at your institution. 44% of you have voted, requesting you quickly to help us in crossing a 50% mark so that we can disclose the findings of this voting. So it's just inching towards 50%, and the 50%, and I was hoping it's going to be a 50-50, but it is a 48 to 52. 48 to 52. 48% of you does have a cybersecurity ethical framework and cybersecurity induction program, and 52% of you don't have such programs, you don't have any such policy documents. And we do hope that today's session will inspire you to start thinking in those lines. Herein comes the question: can you estimate, and this is the last poll question, can you estimate the value of the intellectual property and other resources part of your information infrastructure? And that's something of great concern of we, the library and information science professionals. Can you really estimate the value of the intellectual property and other resources which are a part of the information infrastructure in the institutions? Can you estimate the value, how much value it would be of, and especially if something goes wrong, what is going to be at stake? So please do kindly give us your inputs about it, and it would really help us in knowing about that what is really happening in the institution. So right now 42% of you have voted, requesting you to come forward and to give us your feedback. So 45%, it has crossed now 45%. So, and after this, I will be firstly be requesting Sanjana to say something on these findings, what we are able to get through these six poll questions, which was being requested by our speaker. So 50% of you have done the voting, and let me just tell you, 67% of you have gone for the option yes. This is for you, Sanjana. 67% of them have said that yes, they can very well can value that how much of the intellectual property and other resources they possess in their information infrastructure, and remaining 33% of them, they are not really sure about it. Anything that you would like to say, Sanjana, before we move on and make the floor open for questions? It's over to you, Sanjana.
Yes, I would just like to mention that there are a few things. For example, in case of a cyber attack, it's really important for us to first file an FIR. This is what many people just forget. They get into panic, they get into all kinds of situation. By the way, panic is also a trait which is exploited by hackers because they know exactly what your behavior would be when you encounter a cyber attack, and they just do that, like what's the next response, so they accordingly play up with that kind of because they know exactly. So what we need to do is that we need to be aware of our legal system, and we have the IT Act, we have the IPC. There is everything which is given in our constitution, everything that is already there in place. There is a legal system put in place, and we should make use of it by filing the FIR. And that's one thing very important for us to know. Second thing is that it's very important to have policy, people, and technology. So our focus is technology. We usually, we deploy the best applications. We deploy the cybersecurity solutions. We can do that, but we don't take into consideration process and people. People are one of the weakest links of cyber attack, and so it's very important for us to have an induction program where at least 1 hour or 2 hours are just given to inform people about the basic cyber hygiene techniques, and have a policy in place so that people go through these policy documents and they are able to familiarize themselves with cybersecurity. We do that at CyberDiplomat. We help on these aspects also. So these are a few things that it's really important for an organization to be very secure. Third thing is that today third-party applications are being deployed for cybersecurity. However, it's very important to do the due diligence before we employ third-party application. That is to check the validity of the company, whether it's a registered company or not, to check their website, to check on the person who is the founder of the company. So it's really important for us to do our due diligence before we contract any company with the project on taking care of our security. It's very important. So these are, and ethics is something, again, as I had highlighted, this is a very important aspect because today we talk about zero trust. This is one aspect. Today, I think a lot of cybersecurity professionals are coming up with zero trust solutions. But there is a value to trust as well. It's very important for us to even trust as people. And zero trust usually creates that kind of a vicious cycle where there is more of insecurity, there is more of cyber crime. So it's very important for us to balance and to exactly know what to do in order to balance things out. Yes, on a technology level, on a process level, and on people level, to deploy these techniques. And exactly know what these ethical policies and principles are. This was a great insight. I think 90% that was really something that 90% of the people, they know about cybersecurity. At least that's something really good that is coming up from the session. And so this is all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjana. Thank you so very much. So now we would like to make the floor open for questions because we are pretty confident and sure many of our attendees would like to interact with you and to pose their questions to you. So now we are making the floor open for questions and requesting each one of you who are interested to ask a question, please raise your digital hand. I'm now glancing through A to Z, so be patient enough, depending on the first name that you have registered yourself in the registration form. And please do introduce yourself also. So raise your digital hand. I'm quickly glancing through the entire list to just have a look and to ensure. So we have Bhaskar Busa, Mr. Bhaskar Busa, who has raised his digital hand. Mr. Bhaskar Busa, I will, because of paucity of time, I would just like to try to get connected once. And if we are not able to get, requesting them either to post a message in the chat box, or you can perhaps write to Sanjana, through the email. This is for Mr. Bhaskar Busa. Mr. Bhaskar, may I request you to unmute yourself? Mr. Bhaskar Busa, can I request you to unmute yourself? Requesting you, Sanjana, in the meantime, if you can just mention your email ID also on this.
Yes, the email ID is info at the
on the slide. Mr. Bhaskar is not able to do. Actually, yeah, we will just be telling it to everyone. Let me just quickly move on to some of our other attendees who may like to ask a question. Please raise your digital hand if you may like to ask any question. Please raise your digital hand if you would like to ask any question or to say anything about, we would be requesting you to kindly do so. And I'm just going through the listing to see if those of you who are wanting to, otherwise you can post your question in the chat box. If you wish, you can post your questions in the chat box also, and we will be very happy to pick up the question. We have Paramita Ghosh. Paramita Ghosh, Paramita, I have unmuted you, requesting you to unmute. Yes, we are connected, Paramita. You may ask your question and introduce yourself. This is for Paramita Ghosh. Paramita, you are connected right now. Please speak. This is for Paramita Ghosh. Paramita, you are connected right now. You can ask your question. I believe, in spite of showing it online and connected, I believe she has got some issue. This is for Mr. Pramod Singh. Pramod Singh ji, I'm not able to give you an audio control because there's no audio device which the system is showing. This is for Mr. Raja N. Mr. Raja N. I have unmuted you, Mr. Raja N. Please unmute yourself and ask your question. This is for Raja N. Could you please unmute yourself and ask the question? For unmuting on the right hand side in this microphone, just click on and you will get unmuted. Not able to help. This is for Mr. Raja Gopal Rajan. Mr. Raja Gopal Rajan, please unmute yourself, Mr. Raja Gopal Rajan. I believe some of our colleagues are not. This is for Mr. Raja Gopal Rajan. I have unmuted you, requesting you, please unmute yourself. Mr. Raja Gopal, you are not able to do that. I'm compelled to move to our next attendee. This is for Rekha Dhodi. This is for Rekha Dhodi. Rekha, could you please unmute yourself and ask the question? This is for Rekha Dhodi. Rekha, could you please unmute yourself? I think the colleagues, they are having an issue in unmuting themselves. If you have an issue in unmuting yourself, please drop a question on the chat box and we will be happy to take the questions. This is for Rekha Dhodi. I believe Rekha is not able to do that. It's you can post your question in the chat box. This is for Sambandam Kupuswamy. Sambandam Kupuswamy, I have unmuted you. Please unmute yourself, Mr. Sambandam Kupuswamy. Mr. Sambandam Kupuswamy, could you please unmute yourself? On the right hand side of your screen, you are getting this microphone. Click onto it in order to unmute yourself. Mr. Sambandhan Kupuswamy, it's not able to do that. You may just otherwise post your question in the chat box. We'll pick up the question from there if you're not able to do. This is from Mr. Shyam Bachute. Mr. Shyam Bachute, could you please unmute? Yes, you are connected,
Yes,
Mr. Shyam. Thank God, at least
thank
some
you,
of my
ma'am. Thank you very
attendees
much.
able to speak. Yes, happy to
Thank
get
you.
connected.
And a
Happy
very
to get
nice
connected.
session, ma'am. I am audible, ma'am?
Yeah, you are audible very much, Mr. Shyam. You are audible. Yes, yes.
The question is that, ma'am, actually, my name is Sham and I'm working in Singad Institute, Pune. And my question is that one day our principals send a message to our group that his Facebook account has someone has called uh, hello.
Hello, yes, sir. Shyam, tell me, what is the question?
Uh,
One day the principal.
Send a message that his Facebook account is hacked, and some messages sent by the account to demanding some money. So how does it happen and how to avoid such kind of events?
I'll just come to that. So let me just share my screen. Let me share. Supposing you get this kind of an email. By the way, this is by the. If you can see, this is another company which I am working for. It's called Tech Africa. So this is an email ID, which is my email ID here is s.rathi at techafrica.org, and the email ID that you can see is actually IT at techafrica.org. So first thing that you need to do that if you're getting an email like this from the principal, first go to these three boxes, check show original. This is not coming, although it's looking like as if it's coming from, Tech Africa server, but actually it's some other server. So you need to be really careful about that. It is not coming from the server of Tech Africa. So these are various techniques that you can use. Secondly, I'm sure your principal is not going to send you an email saying that you need to transfer money. It will be announced. You can do something. You can just go to the college website, the official website. If there is anything official, it will be given in the website. Or you will, first of all, do good email check. I think email check is very important. Do not click or do not believe these emails. They can absolutely be wrong. Do these email checks, like check the originality, show original, check the originality of the message, check the message ID, whether it actually matches with the original email ID that was sent or not. Do these email checks, and you can automatically find out whether this is a valid email. So yeah.
Sanjana, the question being asked by Mr. Shah, because the principal's Facebook got hacked. Now, how come means what that Facebook user needs to do in order to can the Facebook page can be blocked so that no further means how one can report it to Facebook about it that something wrong has happened to their Facebook account. Can someone report it to Facebook?
Absolutely. So there is a mechanism in which the account can be logged. Usually, two-factor authentication, if we activate that, and if there is any kind of a malicious, if there is detection of a separate browser, for example, if it is being logged by through a separate browser, usually there is an alert that comes up, and the Facebook account gets logged. In case if it is not logged and if it gets hacked, then there is in the options that are there. There is a privacy and accounts option. In that there is report phishing. That is also an option. Usually Facebook takes action immediately these days. We have seen that it takes immediate action in order to lock that account until the person who owns the account completely verifies whether the account is what he or she owns. So it's a very effective process of reporting to Facebook directly.
Perfect,
Madam,
perfect. Thank you.
can we
Yeah,
report in cyber security cell?
cybersecurity
In
cell
terms,
also, yes. Hmm.
but usually
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
cybersecurity cell also, that's definitely one thing, that is filing an FIR. That is definitely there. However, for this particular case, if it can be done, you need to report to the platform, whether it's Facebook or any other platform, and also take assistance from the cell. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Thank you,
you,
Mr.
ma'am. Thank you.
Sham. Yeah, thank you very much for asking this question, because this was also important to everyone else also. We are now would be requesting Saumitri Mohanty. Saumitri Mohanty, this is for Saumitri Mohanty. Could you please unmute yourself? I have already unmuted you from here. Saumitri Mohanty, may I request you to unmute yourself? This is for Saumitri Mohanty. No, I'm so sorry. I'm compelled to move on because of paucity of time. Can't really wait for more than that. Now, this is from Mr. Sunil Kulkarni, requesting Mr. Sunil Kulkarni, who has raised his digital hand, to unmute himself. Mr. Sunil, yes, Mr. Sunil, we are connected. Please introduce yourself.
Ma'am, really it was appreciable, Sanjana ma'am's talk. Very simple, very complex, and very vital aspect. Regarding, it is not question, it was just additional information, because especially in the Naukri.com or wherever we are requesting for Naukri, they are asking for pay form only 10 rupees, 20 rupees. But when you are paying it, it may goes beyond that, because I have seen 3-4 cases. So through that, my small information I want to share with you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, DELNET
Thank you
organizer.
very much. Yeah, yeah.
Really
Thank you,
appreciate
Mr. Kulkarni. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this. Thank you. Thank you very much.
There is also one more important thing, ma'am, that I would just like to mention. There is, for example, today if you have a business and there is GST and report that is government related report, it can be easily downloaded for free on government platforms. So that is there. If there is a third party, they will generally ask you for money. Do not pay. Find out what is the way to get direct access to the government platforms and do this. Usually their SEO is also so well developed that once you're there in their website, they will automatic, and once you have typed all the details and all for downloading those reports, you will get a call immediately saying that, ma'am, you have accessed the website and you need to pay so much amount. We are sending you to the detail over message. Do not pay. Do not pay. Ask them to send you an email. And if they send you an email also, usually government platforms, just go to the government website, the official website, and do it. Don't go to any third party website. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Sanjana. Now we are requesting Mr. Trinath M. Mr. Trinath M, you are connected right now. Yes.
Good afternoon, madam. I'm calling from Kakinada. The thing is there any option in Gmail or any mail like Outlook Express or anything, whether the other end person has viewed our message or not? If when we are sending any mail, if they checked or if they opened the mail, whether we will be getting any notification like that for security reasons.
Many services that is provided. For example, there are certain services, for example, Workspace, and there are many services that give you a notification, but you have to enable it in the advanced setting that send a notification email if the person views the message. So this is there. In Gmail, it is not there. In the free version, again, in the enterprise version and all, we do find that these are available in the advanced setting for you to alter those advanced setting and enable receiving an alert if the email is already viewed. That is an option. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Trina. Thanks for joining us from Kakinada today. And now we are almost through with our attendees here, but now I will quickly go for the questions being posted in the chat box, and I will go with the latest question being asked to the previous one. So I request everyone to be more patient. We are going to just read your question and get the inputs from our expert speaker. And this is a question from Mr. Pankaj Kumar saying, if any cyber attack happens on my bank account, after how much time should I report this matter to the bank or to any of the authorities?
Immediately. Do not waste time. Get your account immediately blocked by calling the bank and reporting to the relationship manager and the security. You must have the security person's email as well, which is there again in the bank website. It's available. Usually these are public facing emails, so very well available, and you need to report it immediately. Do not wait. The more you wait, the more you lose on the money.
I think the tagline is the more you wait, the more you lose. So one should be highly proactive. The moment you come to know, directly go ahead. And this you should remember, the more you wait, the more you lose. So we're not talking, we're talking about you're going to lose the money. So be, just do it as fast as you can. You have to run like a sprinter and do that. So now comes, it is a one question which is coming in, and this is from Arti Kumari saying that how to check the link originality. How to check for the link originality. We have been talking about, you have shown us also right from Amazon.com to Amazon.co, Singapore Airlines, that how this G and Q has been, interchanged. So how really she is wanting to know how we can check for the link originality.
Yes, so there is a mechanism in which there is a keyword, which is whois, www. You can just type any website that you want to type, or you can go to the domain itself. This gives you all the information about the registry of the website. Usually what is the server, which is where it is, and also the company details. There is also the whois.com website, where you can check whether who it belongs to. For example, Singapore Airline, Q with a Q, it actually belongs to somebody from, I think, Indonesia. That's a company that is registered in Indonesia. Usually this is all there in whois.com. Then there is another thing that if you get a link and it is embedded link, hover the mouse. Do not click on it, just hover the mouse on the link, and you will automatically get a box which tells you the original link. Because sometimes they use pictures, they use these links in order. There is another way in which you can get it done, and that is open a new browser. So if supposing you get an email from Microsoft, what you can do is you can directly go to Microsoft.com in a new email. Do not open the email, just directly go to the Microsoft page and log into your account. Log into your account and check what is the notification that you have got. Do not click on that particular email. Usually emails nowadays, they just give information. You don't have a way of, that transaction is not there. And the other aspect is, of course, checking the email. That is the 3 dots, check on that, check on the original message. These are few techniques that you can use.
Thank you very much for this, Sanjana. One question now coming in from Vijay Kumar Verma, who is wanting to know that we have our official email ID, which we have linked to the Gmail and Yahoo account, and all our emails, they land over there. How safe is this practice? That the official email account is being linked up with their Gmail and Yahoo, and it's getting spooled over there, and then they are doing it. So wanting to know how safe is it?
Usually, email IDs from Gmail and Yahoo are all POP enabled, and they have the protocols enabled. So if you go to the advanced setting of your email, then usually, just 1 minute. If you go to the advanced setting of your email, you have the DMARC enabled. There is a protocol which is called DMARC protocol. You need to enable that protocol. So that adds another layer of cybersecurity. There is the IMAP, which is there, and POP3 enabled. You need to have IMAP and POP3 enabled. What you can do is just open your Gmail account. You can go to settings. You can go to your privacy and security, which is an option in your Gmail. And then there is an option of various, it's written POP3, IMAP enable. So click on that. DMARC, it should be enabled. So these are aspects that, and usually when you're checking for spam message, usually these things are enabled in a Gmail or a Yahoo account that is used for enterprises, because Yahoo and Gmail, they are also updating their security protocols, and they are making SMTP and all. Those are very, very basic. I'm talking about the other levels. Usually they ensure cybersecurity. However, when it comes to your spam, then spam messages require a detailed security check. You cannot compromise on just clicking anything in spam messages. You need to check on whether spam can have a valid message. It can have a valid email also, but you need to do a security check. You need to do a detailed email analysis before opening any link or before interacting with that particular email. So that's really important to take into consideration.
Thank you very much, Sanjana, for this detailed reply. And there is a question from Ajita Cha, who wants to know from you whether the CyberDiplomat offers any cyber forensic courses. If yes, what's the eligibility criteria?
So yes, we do offer cyber forensics course. The eligibility criteria is that you need to have basic knowledge of Python and basic programming knowledge. Not exactly Python, that you can learn a little bit, but basic programming knowledge is needed from you. If you know about object-oriented programming and C, C++, that's great. That's what we require.
That's perfect. Now, someone else is wanting to know whether the courses which are being run by CyberDiplomat, are they being approved by UGC or by any other body currently?
Yes, we are in the process, and that's why we have not enrolled it completely. It's not in the public domain because we are in the process. However, this is something which we perform workshops on day-to-day basis, workshops and sessions where we give these courses. And we are working with researchers worldwide for these courses.
One question from Harilal Ji saying that, Madam, when we encounter HTTPS in addresses, does it ensure safety? So you are very much correct. But if you further like to say something, Sanjana.
Actually, HTTPS does ensure safety if you interact with that particular website. Like if you're sending any details on any website, then you should ensure that it is HTTPS, because usually any public information is it's easily available on a website that is not having the S in it. It can be, you can easily deface that kind of website, and you can steal information, user information, which means your information is easily available online. If you send your detail on a non-HTTPS website. So that's why S is very important. If you're interacting with the website, if you're just going to the website to just see the information, although we recommend that yes, HTTPS is important. However, that's just that's something that you can still go and you can just check the information.
Sanjana, quickly, we are taking not much of your time. There are 2-3 more questions, and a quick question now for you. Mr. Nakajyoti HK is wanting to know that if someone loses their data through this ransomware, and how to get it back, how to get your data back if this has been a ransomware. So how one can get help in that scenario.
So in case of a ransomware, do not pay. That's number one. Do not panic. That is also another aspect. So when you usually get into a ransomware attack, so this has happened around 6 to 7 years ago when I was a researcher at LSE. I had undergone this particular thing. While doing my research, suddenly a pop-up came up that your data is all stolen and you need to pay so much amount. But it so turned out I got panicked. I got really panicky when seeing that message, and I dialed that number. I really thought my data is gone because again a deadline was coming up 2 days after, and I had to submit my papers. So paper that I had written, like I'd taken 2 months to research on and write, all the data was. I thought it was all gone. But it so turned out that actually I had panicked and I had not seen that that was just a pop-up. So again, you need to see whether it's really a ransomware attack or not. First, just check what has happened. It can be just a random pop-up that can just come to your screen saying that you have been hacked. But just check whether you have really been hacked. It takes 1 minute. Do not panic that time because that time you can take it wrong. Just 1 minute, check whether it's a ransomware attack or not. If it is a ransomware attack, then call the police. Check, file an FIR. Then take the legal process. Usually, the police cyber cell is equipped to handle this kind of a scenario. So do that.
Perfect, thank you. And I think we'll just take now only 2 questions. There are not many questions which are it's getting flooded the screen, and we just request all our attendees to understand the situation as it's nearly 1.5 hours since we have kept Sanjana ji engaged with us, and we are really taking much of our time and also expertise. She holds lot much of experience, and that's evident also that each one of you would like to get all your clarifications, clarified, all your doubts get clarified. 2 questions only, Sanjana, for you. Now, one question is, this is from Charu Chandra Lekha, who is saying that not many of us are now moving to the cloud technology, and then there are concerns of security and privacy. So what are your takes on it? Because once we are taking our resources onto the cloud, how really to safeguard these 2 major aspects of security and the privacy of the data?
So security and privacy of data can be protected by good encryption. And one of the encryption techniques which is very much recommended is the PGP for especially communication over emails or anything. So it's use of encryption technology. There are a lot of encryption technologies that are available. It's also made by certain firms. You can just take a look. There are certain big players who are doing this. So that's one way in which data can be, secured. Encryption is the only way actually that data can be secured, especially for cloud solution and if you're developing it. The second most important thing would also be to have a check on your application architecture and what are the gaps that are there in the architecture. So this is done on a more technical level. So ensure that someone who is having probably CISO certification or somebody who is into cybersecurity, especially management of cybersecurity, not an ethical hacker, a CISO, someone having a more managerial experience, can help you design this system.
Sanjana, lot many questions. I'm really truly appreciative of our attendees who are coming, one after the other. There is a pop-up happening here, of the questions. One question: how true caller is authentic? Means how much true is the true caller? How much truth is there in the true caller? This is being asked by Charu Chandra Lekha. She's wanting to know about this true caller. So how much truthness is there in the true caller? Any takes of yours, Sanjana, on this?
I would just say that Truecaller actually uses your phone directory and phone directories of multiple phones to map the original name from those directories. So, for example, if your number was initially used by somebody else, then in multiple phones, it would be actually saved in that particular name. So a Truecaller will show that. A Truecaller just does that. It's not really a valid way of checking whether it's the person or not. Yeah.
Mr. God, this is maybe the last question. I'm saying the last, Sanjana, but I'm still keep on taking because not many questions which are there here. And there is from Gautam Gugay. Okay, Mr. Gautam, I would just like to say this is something to do with the anti-plagiarism checker. We may do so. Yeah, take your question in the next time. Someone is wanting to know: is there any government policy to compensate a person who has lost in the digital transaction through any of the digital platforms? Is there any government policy on that?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet, not yet. Yes, okay. There are so many other questions which are there. I'm extremely sorry because of time. We have tried our best, to take as many questions as possible. And we could see that there is a question from Mr. Lokesh Kumar. Is there any specialized course for library security of its resources? Mr. Lokesh, you have given us a chance to think about it. That can we think about initiating some program? And we may like to approach Sanjana ji for that DELNET and CyberDiplomat, can we think about having a special program for our library professionals for safeguarding their digital assets and even otherwise for their library resources? You have given us something to think about it. So thank you very much. Our own colleague from Pune, Dr. Neela Deshpande, is wanting to know what is the authenticity of cybersecurity softwares which are there. So the softwares which are already being there. Sanjana, anything quick that you may like to reply on that? The authenticity of cybersecurity softwares, how authentic? Means we are entrusting everything on these cybersecurity softwares thinking that they are safeguarding us, but how authentic are they? This is really a very good question by Dr. Deshpande. So any inputs of yours, Sanjana, we would appreciate that.
I would say that Singapore government had lately come up with this policy that they would be licensing companies for the validity of the cybersecurity softwares. And I think this is an approach that now people have started thinking on. And soon, I'm very sure in the coming days, we will also be coming up with something like this. Until then, it's important for us to take care of our own security by following the simple cyber hygiene techniques and to know about your technology. For example, there are certain platforms like EFF. There is Electronic Frontier Foundation. That's actually that's a platform which is based in the United States, but it's quite secure because they provide ways in which they are a very independent authority, and they have done a lot of work, especially in the area of privacy. And all their material and everything is very transparently there online. So you can go, you can do a check on the research papers that are there on their website. You can do a check if you don't believe. Otherwise, you can just use certain panopticon related checks. These are certain simple checks just to check your browser security and all those things. And of course, I would say use VPNs, use Tor browser, or other technologies which are more secure, because they use certain protocols like the PGP. Now, if you get into the depth of PGP, we understand that security is by design. So there is no third-party access, or there is no human access or anything, or data is not being leaked anywhere. It's designed in that particular way. So use those kind of software which uses these encryptions and things. Do not do the due diligence again by checking the company, who does it belong to, where is it coming from, because many of these companies, they are funded by a lot of people who are involved in the cybercrime domain. So do not use these websites, these softwares. do your due diligence. That's a process. But if you want to take care of your security, just don't believe by word of mouth. Do your due diligence and then accept it.
Sanjana, this is all giving us all reasons to think about exploring with CyberDiplomat, with you being there. If we can think about having some guidelines, DELNET may like to have seek a consultancy from CyberDiplomat. If we can work together on creating a very detailed manual, for our library and information science professionals, we may like to do that. And then later on, we can think about having an exclusive, some program, some kind of a course for our library and information science professionals. But to start off, we can think about creating a detailed manual on safeguarding the library, library collections, safeguarding it from the cyber threats. And DELNET will be happy. In fact, I would like to write to you on that, because that would be a helping hand, as we could see that large number of our professionals, if there can be a manual or guidelines, this would be the best practices to be followed in the institutions for safeguarding their digital assets. We would like to, take the consultancy of you to ensure that we are able to create that in the days to come. So I think that maybe that's one of the recommendation I'm able to see it coming out from this webinar today on this occasion, a wonderful occasion of National Technology Day. And that would be, that would be something that all our professionals would like to. So it's like the do's and don'ts would be there, and then certain the best practices to be a part of it, so that they can see, it's like a checklist with them, and then they would be able to see whether how much have they fared well, on that. So would you be interested, Sanjana, and would the CyberDiplomat be interested for it?
It will be an honor to be of help in this domain, and we would really want to, secure. Ultimately, that's the aim, and that's our mission and vision.
Exactly.
So, would like to do this. Thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Yeah, thank you, Sanjana. Thank you. And it seems we are now towards a closure. It's fairly 1 hour 45 minutes. I would just like to mention, it does happen at times. Some of our, professionals, they do write that, ma'am, 1 hour session lasted for 2 hours. And I always tell them this entirely depends on the speaker, and also depends on our attendees, that how much of interest the topic has generated and how well the speaker has done. And indeed, much thankful to you, Sanjana, much appreciative of your time and efforts. It has truly been a very wonderful, enriching, enlightening afternoon for each one of us. And there could not have been any other better way to celebrate the National Technology Day, wherein we have spoken and dwelt in detail today how to safeguard ourselves, what are the kind of vulnerabilities which are there coming in, and then how we can safeguard. And you have really spoken at length in such a simple, lucid manner, making everything so clear for everyone. And indeed, truly appreciative of this. And on behalf of DELNET, this is a small token, and from not only on DELNET, this is on behalf of each one of us. There have been around 780 participants who have been there today at this webinar session. This is from each one of us to you, with a great amount of appreciation for your time, for your efforts. And also, we may God bless you with infinite energy, and you keep on spreading this light into the lives of others, securing someone, just simply feeling secured through someone always is truly a great blessing. And you are, have initiated this entire organization as a founder of CyberDiplomat, safeguarding, securing the lives of others. They could not have been anything better than, this very, very pious thing that you are doing it. And we wish you the very best for all your future endeavors. And as I said, DELNET would be very much happy to initiate some new projects with you, And we must thank all our attendees here today who have really got into such an very exhaustive discussions, enriching discussions. And two of the major recommendations that we can think about immediately to work on is to create a detailed manual for the libraries, for the library and information science professionals, safeguarding their digital assets. And it would really be a pleasure for DELNET if the CyberDiplomat may extend their consultancy on this, share their expertise on this. Yeah. And we can have a brainstorming session again, with the draft copy of the guidelines with all our colleagues so that they can give us more inputs about it. And also then to think about if we can have some online courses, as being also desired by some of our attendees. We can think about having on some specific aspects that are being encountered in the libraries, not only in order to sensitize them, but also to have as a policy matter. If we can do that, this would be. This is for Mr. Gopal, Mr. Chauhan, Yash Gopal Singh Chauhan, because some of our colleagues have asked, attendees have asked if they can see the questions again. You can drop us an email, and we'll be very, very happy because we can't launch the poll. So this is what your session has done. They are still writing, though we have said that we are not going to take, but still the questions are pouring in, and for which we remain truly thankful to you, Sanjana, and truly thankful to all our professional colleagues who really inspires us to keep on doing this in order to spread the light, illuminate the light, and keep on spreading the light into the lives of others. Truly appreciate you, Sanjana, for your time and efforts. May God bless you, and you keep on moving ahead with your mission of safeguarding, the lives of others and making the world a more better and secure place. So thank you very much. We have truly celebrated today. We are feeling with full celebratory mode that we have celebrated our National Technology Day today in the best of the ways. So thank you very much. May God bless you. And also let me take this opportunity to thank all our professional colleagues who have joined us from different nooks and parts of the country and even from outside India to have been a wonderful part of this webinar today, which was organized to mark the National Technology Day. Grateful for your continuous support, for your continuous cooperation, your participation, which keeps on inspiring us to keep on doing these webinars. I would just like to make you all aware that on 26th of May, please mark your calendar. 26th of May, we will be holding a book discussion program from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. We are going to give you the details very shortly, which is on citizen empowerment through digital transformation, being authored by Dr. Neeta Verma, the Director General, National Informatics Center, Ministry of Electronics and IT, and which is going to happen on May 26th from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Please mark your calendar. In yet another 1 or 2 days' time, we are going to send across the details to you, and we would be very happy to have you back again. So with this, we are closing the webinar today, the session today, and we really look forward to having you back again. I would also like to convey my special appreciation to my own colleague, Mr. Kushal Goswami, who has been so efficiently taking care of technically coordinating these programs from DELNET. Once again, a very warm thanks to each one of you, a very special thanks to Sanjana, and a very warm special thanks to each one of you for being there with us this afternoon and for celebrating together the National Technology Day. We really look forward to many more opportunities and occasions to have you back again with us. Stay happy, stay blessed, stay informed, and do stay secured through the technology. We are all there, and let's collectively contribute in making the world a better place. Let's collectively be there together in seeing to it that we are there securing our own selves, securing the lives of the others, and let this information to flow, the information sharing to happen, the knowledge sharing to happen. And we always truly admire the efforts of each one of you for being a continuous source of inspiration for DELNET. Thank you very much, one and all. Thank you very much, Sanjana, once again. And this elephant from Delhi is on the way to Bengaluru, and you're soon going to receive it. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. May God bless you. God bless each one of you. Have a very wonderful evening, and we really look forward to welcoming you back again on May 26th at 3 p.m. at the DELNET Book Talk, which will be the book we are going to discuss is authored by Dr. Neeta Verma, as I said. So, and we will be informing you also about it. Thank you very much. Thank you, one and all. God bless you, and stay safe, stay secure, stay connected, and stay informed. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Sanjana. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless. God bless you. Thank you.